please.
Thibault Laporte.
Tatiana Lee.
Seri and
Daniel Bayer.
It's something that should be fun, and I think not lighthearted might not be the right word, but it can end up being so stressful and daunting. Yeah. So I think you try to make it what you make it into something that works for you. But I definitely think that if you try dating the way other people are dating, it can be a really bad experience.
I just like the aspect of it, of just sort of like getting to know new people. I think that's kind of just a fun way to...
You've had better luck than we have.
Maybe. I'm actually like new-ish to it because I was in a couple relationships that like combined were like 5 years. So now I'm like kind of like reacquainting, and it's sort of like each time I'm like, oh, is this what it is? I forgot. I also haven't done dating apps, P.S., because like I was in those relationships like when that became a thing. So now I'm being told by some of my friends like, girl, like get on Bumble, like do that, and I'm just like,
good luck.
Right? Like that's what makes me nervous. Is like I don't even know what to put on a profile. Like, hi, I like cats. Like, what do I?
Yeah, don't put that.
Don't put that.
It's like
Shouldn't I be honest?
No. I mean, don't put just that.
Yeah. No, put more.
Because some people just put that alone.
But it's like some people even think like dating isn't even really a thing. Like I was talking about this other thing, like the whole Netflix and chill kind of thing, and it's like that's not really. I mean, it can be dating.
That's definitely not dating.
It's not dating. Maybe the 5th time, maybe you guys go on a date, but no, not for the first time. And I think there's some people who just want to take just the whole process of dating just out of the question and just jump to the, Netflix and chill.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly really casual. Yeah. That's a casual
yes
but
thing to do.
For some people, that's their idea of date. I think that's kind of what it comes down to. People are trying to find meaning out of something where people have assigned different sets of meaning, and then you're getting into kind of a collaboration with other people, not knowing what their expectations are, and it's nothing that's really clearly communicated except through a complex set of procedures and emojis.
There is a definite problem I've noticed with dating, is that I know a lot of guys that they're not bad guys. They could make good husbands, good fathers, and all that. But there's different time periods in life for different things, and sometimes I think both guys and girls just want to have fun and get laid. And so when a guy is in that mindset, then the problem is I think guys are. When they're in that mindset, well, they go on Tinder, they go on Bumble, they go on OkCupid, and all that stuff. But then there's on the women's side, it's almost like that's maybe one of the discrimination things. Like women can't do that. If they go on their profile and they're like, oh, I'm just into something casual right now, then they'll be so inundated by messages that they have to all put only serious requests, please, only legitimate things. So then it's like this frustration where all the guys are like, well, all these women want to get married, and all the women are like, well, all these guys just want to get laid.
Yeah. So it doesn't match up.
It doesn't match up.
You have different expectations.
I understand, like, a lot of the women I know wouldn't mind casual fun, but they can't put that in the profile.
Out there. Yes, you can't.
Because otherwise there'd be no end to it.
Do not let it be known at all.
But then they have to, like, weed out all the
weirdos.
The weirdos by saying only serious requests, and that turns off all the guys that might actually become their husband. But
okay, so I'm curious, people in the back row, do you agree with what Thibault's saying, or do you think that women could ask for sex if they wanted it? And not be like...
Fundamentally, he's right, though, that there is just a numbers issue where you would have to... That's why it becomes complex after that. Because even if two people are on the same page, just coming from the different masks of, like, I'm a woman, I'm a man, it's going to appear to society in different ways, and it's going to manifest itself.
I mean, as far as like the online profile part goes, like I can't really speak to that because I haven't done it yet. If I was just like, hey dudes, like I'm looking to get it, like it would just be like inundated, like you said, right? But I know like for sure, like online profile aside, because I really don't understand how that works, but just like in person, I feel like any woman can, it's like in a situation by situation thing, right? Like I might meet a guy who I'm like, wow, like this guy seems really fantastic, really awesome. I could see him getting along with my friends and family. Like I could see this going somewhere. I'm going to treat that differently than some dude who I just think is hot, and that's it. And maybe I just want to sleep with him. Like I'm going to treat like, so that's not me. Like I
think communication is important, and that's something that really doesn't come across when it comes to online dating, because I have done online dating. I'm currently doing online dating, but it's like to put on there, oh, you're just looking for something casual, like. Sometimes guys be like, oh, well, you know, she's a hoe, or, you know, she's just, you know, people have their, I don't think from a woman's point of view, people are always going to respect when you're just the type of person where you're just looking for casual sex. Like people, you know, look at you differently or something like that. But then I feel like you said in person, that's different. If you're having a dialogue with someone and you guys have come to a similar understanding, then it's like, okay, we can chill and then we can, you know, have sex when it comes to that. But it's like with online, it's like they're really judging you.
Are you supposed to pick? Like, I'm looking for a relationship, or I'm just looking to meet people and have fun. Like, do you have to, like, pick one?
Well,
I think it depends on how you feel about that specific person or where you are in your life. Like, where I am in my life right now, I really don't want anything too serious. I just want somebody I can go out and hang out with and have a good time, maybe watch some movies or something, go out to dinner, and we can have sex. That's all I really want, but I'm not going to put that on my dating profile.
The one thing I don't like about online is that I have a very sensitive sense of smell. And so it's like everything can look like check out on paper, but then when I meet them, I very quickly, I just so I really prefer meeting people in real life.
I like meeting people in real life because I feel with online dating, people automatically see, because I do post up pictures of me in my wheelchair because I want you to know what you're getting yourself into. I think it's only out of respect. But some guys see the wheelchair and are like, oh, maybe she, you know, can't have sex, or so then they automatically just do not even, you know, come my way or even, you know, swipe right or whatever. Swipe
so you're
right,
not going to put that on your profile. By the way, I can have sex.
Yeah, then you're like, okay, actually I should. I actually debated on whether or not I should say that, but I'm like, I shouldn't have to say that. You should want to see me for who I am and want to have a connection with me. So it is better to meet in person because people get to see my personality and see who I am and look past the wheelchair. And they're like, okay, she's dope, you know, let me check it out. But with online, that doesn't really happen.
Yeah. I've only ever met people in person. Because
you're from Mars?
Because I'm from Mars. And I'm really on board with the smelling thing because I feel like within 30 seconds, I know if I'm into someone or
totally,
not.
totally.
Like,
yeah.
or at least whether I want to continue a conversation.
Right,
You know?
no, I
like,
completely agree.
within 30 seconds. Whereas like with online, I can just see myself getting lost in this wormhole of just like, what about this guy? Oh, he's kind of cute, but I don't know about this part. Well, I don't know about this. It's like
that's
too much information.
It's totally true because one of the reasons I went like 100% into online is because I thought it would be a time saver. And as you just said, it's totally not, because most people don't want to just meet really quickly for coffee. They want to like email and text message first, and then you're pretty much building a digital relationship with someone where instantly the first time you actually meet them in person, you're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it can be. It's a matter of how you sort of set up your criteria and what you're going to use it for, because I actually kind of prefer online, or at least the Tinder, the app. The simpler the thing, the better, because it is a time suck. The more it gets complicated.
Yeah.
But the simplicity of just attractive, it gets that out of the way at least, and then you know you can move from there. And some people do want a digital relationship, and some people are like, why are you writing me missives? Just let's meet up, you know. So it depends on the person.
I learned from my mom at a young age. My mom was like, you don't let anybody touch you, you know. And then when I got to be a teenager, she still said the same thing, you know. Don't let anybody touch you unless you say yes. And then she always watched crime dramas and CSI. I mean, not CSI, but Law & Order SVU was like her favorite. So like I always knew about, because there were always sex crimes. So it was like I always kind of knew like, okay, there's a thing called rape and all these other things. So you need to have consent.
I love how we went from dating serial killers to consent. It's not that off topic, actually. But, sex ed, the only thing I remember about sex ed is them putting a condom on a banana. And I was a kid, and we all thought it was hilarious, and that's probably why it's the only thing I remember. I also remember my brother cleverly getting out of it because he went up to my dad being like, oh, I'm too young to learn this stuff. So my dad had him specially dispensed from sex ed. But anyway, I don't remember them talking about consent at all. So it's something I just, I honestly, I think I just observed how adults act on movies and things.
That's interesting. I don't remember a specific conversation, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it was my mom, because when something just feels like, by the time it became something that I was dealing with, right, as a teenager or whatever, it felt so innate that I knew that I had full control over the situation, that I could leave, I could say no, and it didn't matter, I wasn't ever concerned about saying no. I was never afraid of saying no. I feel like something that innate was probably something that my mom planted in me. But not in school, not really, I don't think anywhere else. I don't think my friends and I really talked about it.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of embedded in the fabric of everything, because to me it seemed like such common sense as well. So it could be a Midwest thing, but that's kind of what it was. It seemed obvious, and when I encountered somebody who had different views or about it, it just seemed like mind blowing. Like I didn't even know somebody could exist as a human with some alternate view.
I think I'm lucky in a sense, because I even as a kid I sort of understood what, there's some things you just don't do, and I remember actually a conversation hearing guys talk about when do you have sex with your girlfriend, when do you just cross that line, and I remember one guy, we were kids, we were totally kids, and I was just listening in on their conversation. I wasn't their friend, but I remember hearing something shocking where the guy was like, you just take her when you're ready.
Oh.
And I was like, that doesn't sound right. So I think I'm just thankful that I'm maybe, I was on the other side of the spectrum where I feel like I almost respected women too much, to where I didn't dare do anything at all, and ask, so that definitely kind of held me back for a long time. But,
that's where I was too, is that there are times where there are girls that are playing a game.
Yeah.
And they're giving messages that they don't mean, and then you're just like, okay, if we're not gonna have sex on the first date, I understand you don't want me. Why are you inviting me up for tea? So it kind of can be confusing, and I failed at that for a long time, where I would hear through the grapevine oh, she said you rejected her, and I was like, I didn't. She said something different than what she's saying now. So
no, that's true. To piggyback on that, I think when it kind of gets a little confusing is that there are messages that we've all been inundated with culturally, where women are told, oh, if you sleep around, you're a slut, you're a whore, whereas men are told, oh yeah, you want to rack up as many numbers as you possibly can. So lots of times, and I've been in this position myself certainly, where it's I wanted to have sex with someone, but I felt like, oh, I'm supposed to say no, because girls say no, right? That. Yeah. But that is because that's what I was taught, was to say no, and then the poor guy, is but do I or don't I? So I think that's tough. When it comes into what we've absorbed culturally, especially for men, being shown so many times in movies. How many times has it existed in a romance movie where the guy moves in on a girl and she's like, wait, I'm not sure, and
there's
goes for it. Yeah, and he makes sure she's sure, and he's like, oh,
and then she's
I'll
like,
assure
oh,
you.
yes, that is what I wanted. That's perpetuating rape culture.
Yeah, there's this resistance at first, and then she just melts into it, and then I think that's so
how many little
awful.
boys have seen that over and over and over again? That's not okay.
I think women should stand in their truth, though, and be confident in saying no, and men respecting that no means no, and taking there and just being open, and that's where it comes again with communication. A guy should say, well, is it okay?